Why? All electronics must be turned off before entering this building.
Wow.
It says we ain't
Oh,
allowed to
we're
film.
late. Nuh-uh. We are allowed to film.
Are we seriously?
Yeah.
I move that we approve the council meeting minutes, October 14th, 2019.
Any discussion? If no discussion, vote please.
Wolf,
Yes.
Swisler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Review and approve the treasurer's written report, Beverly, October 23rd, 2019.
Make a motion that we pass the treasurer's report dated October 23rd, 2019.
Second, please.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? No discussion, vote please.
Wolf,
Yes.
Swisler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Parks and Rec Commission.
I'm gonna make a motion on the Parks and Recreation Commission. I'm gonna make a motion to direct the Parks and Recreation Commission to move forward with paving and stripping of the basketball pickleball court at Ryan Park.
Okay.
I need a motion to adopt.
Second, please.
Second.
If no discussion. Would you like to say something?
Yes.
Okay, something.
Who's the second?
That was.
Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening, President and Council. I hope that this vote carries. We've been trying to resurface this court over at Ryan Park for, I think, since 2015. We had an opportunity through grant funding. However, at that time, significant amounts of those funds were used for restroom restoration as well as the community garden, which left Parks and Recreation not nearly enough to do the restoration of the court. So we decided at that time that we would go ahead and equip the park with a few more toddler-type equipment. We also updated and repaired some of the skate park. We took care of some of the safety issues that we anticipated maybe being dinged by our liability insurance. So we are so grateful for this opportunity right now to be able to at least Band-Aid the court. It'll not be, the surface will not be level. There may be some puddling, but at least it's gonna be safe for the kids to use. And hopefully, we may be able to do, with the striping, Tom, that's, the striping was not included in the quote. Can we make sure that's in there?
Yeah.
At least, maybe we can construct the pickleball diameter. And I also wanted to make another point. I think at the last meeting, and maybe I could be wrong, it was noted that Parks and Recreation does not have minutes. We do have minutes, they're on file. They're a month behind because we approved them at the forward proceeding meeting. So I just want to point out that Parks and Rec does have minutes. So, do you have any questions?
Thank you for sharing that. We'll also fund it down here.
Okay, again, I appreciate all your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need to vote on it, right?
Yeah.
Vote, please.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second.
Wolf,
Yes.
Swisler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Zoning officer.
It's a report you have.
Thank you.
Can I, there is a report in the packet, but, Doug, would you like to come up and, talk about, did I call you Doug? Yeah. You wanna come up anyway and.
You can do it.
Yeah, yeah. That's right. He wanted wants to, or I wanted him to share information about, the Goodwill store came to the Planning and Zoning Commission and spoke on, an improvement they wanna make, if you wanna call it an improvement, a temporary. Do you wanna explain to council? I know you weren't at the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting because I forgot to tell you about the change of date. But do you wanna just tell council briefly what, because this is, it's significant decision to make here whether or not you want, this proposal that's being made by Goodwill.
Goodwill is proposing long-term to build a new building on their site. In the meantime, they're wanting to do a propane refill station, which is about a 2,000 gallon tank that they want to set out front on 79, temporarily until their new building's built behind them, then they're tearing down the old building. I didn't see any problems with where they wanted to put temporarily, but I guess planning and zoning wanting them to possibly move it back further. Stationary for good when their new building's built. So, I mean, I'm okay with either way what they want to do, but for right now, they're wanting to go ahead and put this tank in and start selling propane, filling smaller cylinders, out of a big 2,000 gallon tank.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do.
Well, my understanding is that they want to fence it, and I think it'd be pretty ugly, like right on 79.
Code requirements, they'll have to put a chain link fence around it, they'll have to put bollards around it, for fire escapes and, building gates, so.
Is this fence going to have the slats that you can't see through it?
I don't know.
They said,
That would help if you can't see. I'm sure it will cost them more money, but they seem to have money, so.
And why can't it be put towards the back of the lot, so it's not, what I call visual pollution?
It can
To have
be,
it,
I mean,
it
that's-
can't be?
It can be, yes.
Well, that's my suggestion. Anyone who has any perspective on how 70, they want to see how 79 looks,
Sure.
sure would rather have a chain link fence and that big propane tank and the cylinders. They would sure look better towards the back of the lot.
let me speak on
I
this.
heard that.
I was, excuse me, I was at the meeting and you were absent, so.
And I got the full report on it, which I was supposed to get before him. So right on
Go
your
right ahead.
Go ahead,
So
Karen.
I would like you to interject, but I would suggest that the Planning and Zoning Commission, as per Peggy's request, had a meeting and talked about that, and one of the things that they proposed, to Kitty's point, was the concern that that the site is one of our prime sites, and they suggested, and it was Peggy's idea, that we could possibly, meaning the village, lease for a year to 18 months, the alleyway that goes through the village still owns, so propane tank could be to the side of the building rather than in the front of the building. And the planning commission had suggested that the zoning officer issue a permit that was temporary, that would be like a 1 year until they built the new building, put it in the back. Because to you all's point, the shed, or whatever you choose to build around it, I think if we're going to be, and the planning commission thought that in order to be a good neighbor, not to have them put a ton of money into that, recognizing they would be potentially relocating that in 18 months. So the concept that Peggy came up with to possibly lease them the land on the side of the building, makes it,
Pretty by the old laundromat there, the end that used, well.
North side of the building.
the north side of the building, the village owns a right of way, it's a vacated alley.
Yeah.
Is for the village to rent that or lease that for 18 months. Let them put up their proposed propane tank and not spend a ton of money on camouflage, I call it camouflage, camouflaging it, so that when they build their new nice building and they wanna put it in the back, they could put it in the back and then we kind of scratch their back and they scratch ours.
Put it on the side.
Sounds like a good resolution.
So that was Peggy's idea and the planning commission invented it, and actually the person that did all that. What I did do on Friday is, I had a great conversation with all of our presenters, and actually I'm probably more stoked now than I was before I set it up, because they've got a great presentation. The slides and the things they're doing, I think are gonna be relevant to anybody that attends, because they can put it in fifth grade language and then make it smarter as it moves up, so everybody can understand how they can really participate in it, which, I've discovered most people don't, including myself. So I learned a lot just talking to them. So if you can set that to, put it on your Facebooks, that would be great. The other thing the Planning and Zoning Commission will be working on, and are working on right now, is they're updating and making sure that our current bylaws are more current. So end of the year, we should be able to have those current, that matches current charter and all the updates there, because some of the language has been neglected over the years. So that's our process.
I
Any
have a
questions?
question. Yeah, I just want to make sure, you had suggested that we have good enough on the cost of the legal fees for, so you're saying that they pay our attorney to write this contract?
Correct.
Okay.
And I feel confident
Not
that.
have them write it and then.
No,
Okay.
no, is that we make that part of the conversation
Sure.
and say, we're gonna lease this land to you and we're making this space. That's part of the cost of leasing the land, is the legal documents associated. Associated.
All right. I just want to make sure they were paying our attorney to write it.
Correct.
Thank
Okay, any other questions?
you. Thanks, Karen. Code enforcement officer, in your package, thank you. Council sanitation, committee reports. Finance?
Finance Committee has had lots of discussion, and I want to thank my committee members for all the time that they put in, and also Rochelle, thank you for all the correspondences that we have bothered you with the last week. I know there's been a lot. If we look at line items coming up here, we've probably got 36 line items we're moving around. So, we've met, we've discussed some ordinances that'll be coming up in tonight's meeting. Just gonna highlight all of them have been approved by this committee. And also this committee in different discussions have said to highlight the fact that this committee, this council, these four on this committee, do not feel there's an immediate need for any new income tax.
Do you want to make a recommendation on the ordinance now, or do you want to include it in, or do you want to wait till the ordinance comes up?
I can bring in ordinance number 2019-38 on the first reading. Is that okay?
Which ones?
2019-38, you'd be bringing off the table, that it would be most appropriate to do that under the ordinance section.
You
Please.
just wait and thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Channel 11.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Public safety, Dr. Mason's gone, and Cricket's gone for public service, so John Rules, please. Thank you.
No report other than wanted to encourage people to go to the opportunities at the seminar. And thank you to our council president for helping to get that opportunities up there.
Thank you. I think it's going to be very valuable. Personnel, Jill?
No report.
Report of village officials for last year.
I presented over email and also on our copy of our rental statistics for last month. But where we're at right now, we've got the backboard increase on the police department. Citizen patrol member Mike Miller has offered his assistance in helping me replace the windows to the rear of the police department. The mayor had obtained glass blocks for us, and he's gonna help me with the labor aspect of putting them in. All of our full-time patrol officers now have departmental issued firearms. We've got the qualifications done, firearm qualifications for Steele and Wellbacher completed on those. Officer Steele's in his first week of field training, and he's doing very well, and he's hit the ground running. It's been a very busy week. I've completed the required rate reporting for the Ohio Law Enforcement Body Armor Program. I'm currently working on the yearly inventory submission for the Department of Defense. We have several prospective candidates for positions with the police department. We're on the background investigation stage on those. It could take a couple weeks, but we're getting there. And we're in the process of filing for titles on the 2 motor vehicles out in the impound lot. The third one, the financial institution wishes to collect it, which means they're gonna pay the impound fee and the storage fee before it'll be released to them. We've got winter coats ordered for the guys. They should be here within the next few days, hopefully. And after we get those, we're gonna take the patches off some of the hand-me-down coats that we received from other agencies last year and put volunteer patches on the front and on the back so our citizens patrol can utilize winter coats and we can try to get a little bit more conformed. That's all I got.
Thanks, Chief.
Sir,
Hey, how we on the body cam?
not yet. Trying to get all the grant reports and paperwork, but I haven't forgot. What the department, what the guys have been utilizing since they have departmental issued cell phones, they've used those as cameras as necessary and also to record interviews or whatever they need them for, and that way it's departmental property and there's no integrity on the chain of custody.
That's great, thanks very much, I appreciate it.
Trick or treat, don't forget, coming up Thursday, it starts at 5 o'clock, trunk or treat.
5:30 to 7, and it's in the parking lot
Of the community center. And then we have the regular trick or treat that night as well. There should be Jackson and Steele will be out and the cruiser and I'll be at the.
Any donations?
We have got, Kevin, you'll have to help me out here. So far, we've had
5:30.
Kelly donated some today, and we've got some from the Chamber of Commerce, and we've got some from.
Sherry saying.
Was it Sherry Sangham that left the one back? So we've got some donations coming in so far. So far, I've only spent 113 away on, so that's pretty good. But I still have like 200 packets to make up. We handed out over 500 last year and we ran out, so I'm shooting for 700 sandwich baggies. You know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Assistant Fire Chief, do you want to say something?
No comment.
Thank you. Street Supervisor, Water Supervisor, you want to say something?
Yeah, just
I just wanted to say that Cranberry Bay is donating the hot dogs and buns and condiments.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. I'll mention that.
Highland Avenue started that project, and also, in the past few times, starting next week, we are flushing hydrants with everybody's water bill. So it will take a week to flush the hydrants in the whole entire system for the annual flush.
So can they expect some rust?
You can expect some brown water, kind of washing whites until it clears up. It shouldn't be real brown. That's the point of flushing. We're trying to get it out, but it will stir up a little bit. But it should be minimal. And always, if it doesn't clear up, call the office.
And you're going to repair the lights that are ruined, right?
Yeah, just try not to wash whites during flushing. But there should be a schedule on the water bills of what states, what zones we're doing what.
Okay, thank you.
What I just passed out, we've got stage 1 submittals for the bridge project. It is a very busy sheet you're looking at right here. There's a lot of data on there that probably doesn't mean a lot to anybody, but it gives you the overview of where things are going to lie. The first island or flower bed as you come into the village with a flagpole on it, that's coming out now. So we'll have to come up with a way to relocate a flagpole. That island will now be a turn lane to satisfy safety regulations to turn into Taco Bell. So this, again, it shows you the sidewalk layout. That island's gonna come out, most definitely satisfy that safety issue. If any questions, feel free to get a hold of me on this, but we should be getting the final next month for a vote on stage 1, and then we'll start the stage 2 process.
Thanks for your
Yep.
comment. Appreciate it. My report, everyone seems to have questions about the opportunity zones. There was a cleanup bill by Congressman T. Berry 2 years ago, and they looked at the poor areas around the country and the lack of job creation. And so I had an opportunity to write a proposal to the governor, and he accepted it. Buckeye Lake Village as an opportunity zone. And that means that entrepreneurs and investors can come into this village and invest their money through an opportunity fund and create jobs and businesses here, and will not have to pay on the profits they make. And there's time, like 5, 7, and 10 years, if they can keep the funds revolving in that fund, it would be a big advantage. Right, Karen?
Yes.
So, we're having this opportunities zone seminar on November the 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the First Community Church, which is 4381 Walnut Road, and encourage people to come. Thank you. And then the other thing, I'd like to make sure people know that trunk or treat is at the parking lot of the harbor, which is our community center. There will be people coming in with their cars, so be careful of the children, for God's sake. And as Annetta said, the people in the Bay Area are donating hot dogs and the condiments for children. And hopefully we put out some food for you at night. So maybe come before, well, maybe you guys, while it's 5:30 to 7 o'clock, maybe you come half an hour early and set
Yeah,
up
I'll let them
tables.
know.
What was the date for John's Buckingham's basement?
November the 4th, I'm sorry, no, November the 3rd, it's Sunday, from 3 to 5. Until everything's done. And then November the 4th is Monday, the opportunity zones at the church. And I'd like to thank Licking Memorial also for a donation of water for trick or treat trunks. So, thank you. I have to,
So I did submit a written report, and this report covers these topics, 5 new fire department members that we have. The Highland Stormwater Project, that's underway and may take 2 weeks. We closed on the real estate at 4924 Walnut Road, that lot just, east of the spillway. Had a closing on that, cost us $234. I spoke to the realtor auctioneer, Gary Babcock. He's willing to come to a council meeting and explain the process of an auctioning off the property at 55 7th Street. Council president said it was okay for him to come tonight, but I think he's coming to the next meeting, if that's okay. So it's okay putting him on the agenda next time? Yeah. Around, okay. This also gives you a brief report on the current status of our bed tax. It's still delinquent from the Motel 6.
Well, thanks to Michelle, she brought some in.
Yeah, she brought in $4,600, but that was from 2018. This report is on the table if you don't have it. Wait. Pam Reed bought some beautiful Christmas decorations, and she's gonna do a fundraising project to pay for those. Veterans Day event, this is new for our village. I guess we used to do this a long time ago. John Lemon organized that. That's item number 9. Sunday, November 10th. So we're doing it the day before?
We're going the day before the Veterans at Louis, they hang out down there. They have, this will be the 4th annual breakfast. They have it on Sunday, and they were wanting an event. They want the village to do something. So I I tried to organize it down there, and Peggy suggested we might be able to do it here, which is exactly what those veterans wanted. So that's,
Thanks,
The
John, that's a good
last-
idea.
The last thing, the spreadsheet, I need council's involvement on this, if you wanna read item 10 here. So we have a spreadsheet of the cost of utilities and property taxes for the harbor. And January through October, we're talking about a total of $7,885. And the clerk treasurer and I talked about this, and I'm not sure if we can justify paying for utilities and real estate taxes when we don't do it for other nonprofits. And, I don't know if council wants to discuss that, if we have any input from, I see Jamie's
Thank
here.
you.
You wanna talk, I guess you.
I didn't know whether I could talk now or at citizens' comments.
So you want her to talk later, or?
She can talk later.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. We're on to ordinances 2019-40, an ordinance approving change order number 1 for the Highland Avenue Drainage Improvement Project declaring an emergency.
I want to work in check, before I don't do it early, but 1938 to have that, bring it off the table. I'm still doing it after 48 now. Okay, we'll go ahead to 40.
It's, I think it was.
40's on the table.
You want to do 38 first, then?
Councilor Wolf, would you like to do 38 first then, sir?
I'd like to, we get
Okay,
it down.
go ahead.
Okay.
38 out, I'd like to introduce,
You have to first make a motion to bring it off the table.
all right, make a motion, bring it off the table. 2938, ordinance number 2938, a motion to bring it off the table.
Second, please.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion, vote please.
Wolf?
Yes.
Swissler?
No.
Okay. French?
Yes.
Geiger?
Yes.
Foreman?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-1. Motion to suspend the rules.
Suspend the rules, please.
Make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Any discussion, no discussion, vote please.
Now, first, I do need to make sure you understand that there was a modification that was brought to me for line item general fund 1,730,300 in the lands and buildings. They reduced the funding, the additional permanent appropriations from 18,000 down to 9,000, which is reflected on this ordinance. Yeah. Motion to suspend the rules on the table. Councilor Wolf?
Yes.
Swissler?
Yes.
French?
Yes.
Geiger?
Yes.
Foreman?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. I'll second.
Any discussion, no discussion, vote please.
Wolf?
Yes.
Swissler?
Yes.
French?
Yes.
Geiger?
Yes.
Foreman?
Yes.
Motion. Yes, ma'am.
2019-41, an ordinance of 40.
That was 38, you were doing last.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta go to 40 next, sorry.
40, an ordinance approving change order number 1 for the Highland Avenue Drainage Improvement Project and declaring an emergency.
Motion to suspend the rules.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
Wait a minute.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion please.
No discussion, you have a suspension.
Motion to adopt.
No, you have to you have to call for the vote first.
Wolf?
Yes.
Swissler?
Yes.
French?
Yes.
Geiger?
Yes.
Foreman? Motion carries 5-0.
I move to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion please. No discussion, vote.
Wolf,
Yes.
Sisler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yep.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. 1941.
Yes, ma'am.
An ordinance to transfer funds collected for the grant construction program during an emergency.
Move to suspend the rules.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion. Vote please.
Wolf,
Yes.
Sisler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Motion to adopt.
I'll move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? No discussion, vote please.
Wolf,
Yes.
Sisler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yep.
Motion carries 5-0.
2019-42, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Ohio, ROW Consulting for management of the Buckeye Lake right-of-way program. Any discussion? Any other measures?
I move that we suspend the rules.
Oh, wait a minute,
It's not an
no.
emergency.
My mistake.
I move to adopt.
I'll second.
This is only a first reading. So that, on 42, if it is not an emergency clause, it goes on to first reading. It's under first reading, yes, ma'am.
Number 43.
It's first reading. Yes.
2019-43 is an ordinance amending ordinance 2010-45, 2011-14, 2012-07, 2012-13, 2012-15, 2013-01, 04, 24, 2015-13, 2016-08, 2018-11, 2018-14, 2018-29, 2019-23, and 36, and creating pay levels and salary schedule for employees of the village of Buckeye Lake, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Move to suspend the rules.
I'll second.
Vote please.
Wolf,
Yes.
Sisler,
No.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-1.
Okay, motion to adopt.
I'll move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion please. If no discussion, vote.
Wolf,
Yes.
Sisler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
I'd like to introduce another ordinance number 2019-44. It is carrying an emergency ordinance.
I'll move to suspend the rules.
It's the other one we passed out. It's this
So
one
the
right
one we
there.
finally got.
Yes. It was a late item on the last page.
Second.
This is changing.
2019-44 is amending ordinance 2019-14, permanent appropriation ordinance and declaring an emergency.
I'll do
Motion to adopt.
You have to suspend, you have a motion and a second to suspend the rules on the table.
I
I just got,
seconded.
you have to call for it.
Call for a vote.
Wolf,
Yes.
Swissler,
Yes.
French,
Yes.
Geiger,
Yes.
Corman.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Move to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? If no discussion, vote.
Wolf,
Yes.
Swissler.
Yes.
French.
Yes.
Geiger.
Yes.
Corman.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Unfinished business? Any new business?
Yes, ma'am. We received a letter in the mail from the State of Ohio Division of Liquor Control stating that there is a 35% licensing fee distribution. It was addressed to the council clerk. We received it a few days ago in the mail after I sent out the council report. It's just stating that they received licensing fees in the total amount of $4,053.00 to the Village of Buckeye Lake for licensing fees for liquor control.
Citizens' comments?
Thank you. I think most people know, but I'm Jamie Bragg. I'm the director of the Buckeye Lake Museum. And I came tonight to just make some comments on the situation with the finances at the harbor. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy we have the harbor. It's great. It's a good thing. It's a community center. It's wonderful. But it was my understanding when that was built that it was to be through donations and grants and classes and things like we do at the museum. So the museum has been around since 1998, and I've actually brought over 100,000 visitors to this area. Just some backup there a little bit. For the bed, it's interesting that the bed tax was commented on here tonight, because that bed tax is actually for tourism. And I'm not sure if everybody knows that, but when the chamber broke up, the Licking County Convention Bureau was born, and I was part of that league along with being the president. And that bed tax money that's always been coming in here is really, the commissioners kind of deal with that, but they don't like to get into small villages and where your money goes and those types of things. So I've come before councils and asked for bed tax money before. I think several years ago we may have gotten like 2,000, or maybe another time another $2,000, something like that. But really, I think that if the harbor is going to be supported by the village, and if the village feels that that's a good thing to do, and by all means, you know, as the people and things should know that the museum should also get some support. We obviously have an 88-foot stern wheeler that's ready to put sail on this lake, probably in March or April. That's going to bring again a whole bunch of visitors to the village of Buckeye Lake. That's tourism. I'm not sure how dedicated everybody on the council is about the tourism, but I really think that it's something I ask council to look for, because we have a proven track record. We've been out here a long time. We're probably one of the nicest facilities in this village. And people come and visit with us and talk about it and things like that. We're also open 6 days a week and on the weekends when tourism is happening in the village. So what I'd like to say is, I would like council to take into consideration, if you are going to fund the harbor, then I think you ought to fund us and possibly the library. I know the library gets some of their money from Licking County, who I think pays their salaries and things for their people out
I
there.
have a suggestion for you. November, give me a date. In November 2019, 25th, we're gonna have at 6 o'clock in Valley, another finance meeting at 6 o'clock, the 25th of November. If you come to the finance meeting at November 25th, 6 o'clock, we're gonna finance committee, what you requested, and we'll take a look at it. How's that?
Well, I'm requesting it in front of the council now, so I need to come to another meeting to request it. A written request, I'm asking you guys now to consider it. So if I need to come to a meeting, that's fine. I'll try my best to get there.
I'm gonna suggest that because we kind of go by chair, we go by committees, and we bring it into council. And I think council's heard it. If you want the best outcome, I think we go right through the committees like we do everything else.
All right.
That's my thought.
All right.
I'm for listening to you. I'm just suggesting we go that route we heard it tonight.
Thanks, Jamie, appreciate your comment.
Okay, I guess I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more citizens' comment?
Yes.
John?
My name's Sean Lemon, I live on 45 Union, and the veterans have really, at Louis Corner House, and they also at VFW and other places, really organized the Veterans Day celebration they'd like to have. What they want to do is have the flag raising, the honor guard come to do that here at the village. They really want to bring the village in to their celebration. They've been doing it for 4 years down here at Louis, the corner. And they'll have a breakfast at 10 o'clock where all the veterans get to eat free. But everybody else is welcome to go. So I think it's a really good idea to show up, whether you're a veteran or not. Let some veterans know that they're welcome for everybody. And if they can come down and maybe buy a breakfast if you're not a veteran. And maybe, those guys like to have a couple drinks once in a while. They have to pay for the drinks, it wouldn't hurt to buy one or two of them a beer. Be nice to have everybody.
John,
Say the
before you
date.
leave, I want to ask President, Council here a question. Veterans Day is November 11th, which is a Monday, and we have a scheduled meeting. In view of it being Veterans Day and veterans activities going on, can we move our council meeting with respect to Veterans Day being on the 11th, the same as our council meeting, so we can go to some of these events?
Would you like to do it
And move it
Tuesday?
to November 12th, 7 o'clock,
Fine with me.
which is Tuesday, because we can celebrate Veterans Day on the 11th.
Everyone else agree?
Is that not a planning commission meeting?
No, you're doing it
Yes,
on,
it is.
you're doing it on the Sunday.
They're doing it on a Sunday.
They're doing theirs on the 10th because everybody else has theirs on the 11th. And a lot of these guys will actually be going over to some other events. So they want to do theirs, they always do theirs on the Sunday before.
We don't
and
have
the
a
breakfast.
meeting available at 7 p.m.
What time's your meeting?
Our meeting is at 7 p.m.
Do we do our council meeting at 5 on Tuesday, the 12th, and then that way we can celebrate Veterans Day?
Fine
And
with
she
me.
can have her
How about the
meeting
rest of you guys?
I can't be here by
5:30?
I think.
6? Could you go 8, we go 6?
I already have, well, no, actually, we don't have any business on the agenda, so we don't have any publications out right now. So if you would like,
You go 8, we'll go 6, or 12.
That puts us here till 9 or 10 based upon our business.
Do you want to do it on Wednesday instead?
We do it on Wednesday the 13th.
Thank you.
7 o'clock.
7 p.m.
No, can you do it at 13?
No, I can't.
Thanks, John, I think it's a good idea.
So when
Thank you.
when are we doing the meeting?
Wednesday, 13th at 7 p.m.
Foreman can't be, Foreman can't be.
And at that point, we may only have 3 people.
You have 4. John, count. 4. 4.
You know, most of these veterans, I usually go to the one in Hebron, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, so I don't know how it interferes with your council. Maybe I missed this.
Well, he just doesn't want to have a council meeting, Veterans Day, he wants to, honor the veterans. That's fine with us. Tom, you okay with that date?
What date?
You're gonna miss.
Wednesday the 13th.
I am.
Be some drinking and driving.
Thank you.
Last year, I think, all I did, I acknowledged the people. I felt really bad. I have a TD 214, by the way, so I get free stuff at the courthouse. I don't know who else has one here, but I do.
Thank you, Council.
So I appreciate this. I think it's a good move. It's kind of a thing.
Go to the Wednesday.
The Wednesday.
Okay,
I
council
appreciate
members'
everyone.
comments.
So can I do one citizen's comment? I just want to do this publicly so that there's no ramifications. Almost everyone running for office has been very respectful for their signs, except for one person, and their sign happens to be in our right of way. So I'm going to suggest that this sign that's up on 79 that is improper, that's in the state right of way, I believe it's our responsibility. I know that they keep coming to planning commission and saying that it's our responsibility for the code. Well, the code and actually governing regulations suggest that our political sign should not be in the right of way of 79. There's only one sign, so it's obvious which one it should be, and it, in my opinion, it should be taken down. So rather than say that privately and be accused of other things, I'm going to say it publicly and suggest that our village should manage our codes.
Thank you.
I gotta say that I just have to say this though, if you go down, I don't know whose sign you're talking about, I really don't, but if you go down, there are signs all over the place in the public right of way. If you go down
There's only one
Mill
thing
Dam,
to talk about.
excuse me, if you go down Mill Dam Road, if you're in front of the Cooper Farm, if you're at the split there at the Y between East Street and Hunt's Landing, everybody's got a sign there. They're along 79, the ones down here in front of the Blue Heron Boardwalk, that's right of way. I mean, 90% of the signs would get pulled if you want us to pick on one person, I'm just saying.
Okay.
There's right of way all over the place, illegal signs all over the place.
Thank you. John,
Honestly.
council, any other citizens' comments? If not, we're going to council members' comments. John, your turn.
First, again, thank you for the meeting on Veterans Day. Thank you.
Tom.
Trick or Trunk is again this Thursday, down at the harbor, what time?
5:30 to 7.
5:30?
It's at 5. Trunk or treat is at 5 to 7, and then trick or treat is 5:30 to 7.
She gotta give it to him, he can't understand.
What time? 5 or 5?
5 to 7, trunk or treat.
5? Oh, there you go. So we have trick or treat, and Buckeye Lake is 5:30 to 7.
He'd been drinking too much.
5 to 7. Correct? Got it. Thank
I
you,
want to
Chief.
see your best costume.
Yes, some people don't need one. Bill.
Thank you.
Move on.
I'd like to thank the council president, all of the hard work with the opportunity. So I think that's going to be a great thing for the village. And looking forward to the meeting that everybody's setting up, including Karen. I'd also like to thank all the employees in Buckeye Lake. I know raises and the working conditions have been coming slow, but they are coming. Thanks for your patience and thanks for your hard work.
Doug.
Other comments?
I'd just like to remind people that you're all very welcome to contribute to Trunk or Treat and to enjoy the children. And I'd like to thank our police department and Kevin and all the people who have already contributed and for his guidance in terms of pulling it all together. So I move for adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. Good evening.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?